Talk about benefits of coronavirus. It's given me a right perfect excuse to lock up anyone who gives me a shivery stomach. So that's all of you. Community policing as it used to be. And I like it.
It's Sunday morning, and police are alerted to a man acting suspiciously along a residential street in St. John's Wood.
I just saw a youngish lad going up and down the road and peering into all the car windows and, inspecting the doors. And he did it suspiciously.
When I heard that the man was acting suspiciously around cars, my police instinct kicked in, and I just knew he was involved in some kind of weird car fetish. When you live around criminals, you get a sense for their perverted ways. Like radar, only much more accurate. Nothing to do with my own late night internet searching into such areas. Thank you very much. And even if I did, it's just criminal research. But as it turned out, this was one of the rare occasions that my radar was wrong.
At that point, we had to carefully consider our options. Originally, we thought about calling the police, but then we found out that we are the police. I don't know when that happened. I must have stumbled into the station and signed up one night after a heavy bar crawl with the lads. Crazier things have happened on a night out, you know? So anyway, that one was out the window. In the end, the best we could come up with was to watch the man and see what he would do.
The police make efforts to blend in with the street to avoid arousing suspicion. Before too long, Pipiyee makes a chilling discovery.
God! No wonder I'm so cold! I forgot my thermal undies!
Meanwhile, the man makes his move.
Right, I've just seen the lad trying a door on the car over there. Quite suspiciously.
I didn't see it because I read in a book that trees don't have eyes. And I tried to keep my disguises as professional as possible.
Excuse me, lad. What game you got going on here, then?
Oh, I was just admiring the car.
Fancy a little drive in it, did ya?
No, well that wasn't my intention, like. I just see nice cars and I can't resist peering inside, you know. I couldn't afford them myself.
Of course you couldn't, bloody urchin!
All the more reason to make off with one, then.
I wasn't going to make off with any cars. I just wanted to take a closer look at the leather seating and accidentally rested against the door handle. It looks kind of cool.
I thought we'd blown the case at that point, going in too early in the hopes of an easy confession. Sometimes you can startle criminals like that, but this one was like tar, thick and of a dark nature, but incredibly sticky. And unfortunately, you can't lock criminals up based on police instinct, because the law doesn't yet recognise it as a way of avoiding the need to collect evidence. It was only by sheer fortune that PC Bop caught the lad bare-handed.
I've just seen your hands there, chum. Looking a bit bare in the gloves department, aren't they? And didn't you just touch that door handle without even so much as applying hand sanitizer? The revelation that the lad had forgotten to wear any gloves before going carjacking was plain horrifying. That he hadn't even sanitized his hands, verging on ultimate evil. I mean, you're going to steal cars. At least have the hoochie poochie to protect the owners from the virus. I don't need to sanitize my hands when I go carjacking myself, because owing to my levels of drinking, my blood is like natural sanitizer. But I'm a special case.
With indisputable evidence of his crimes, anger intensifies, and the man and PC Bop come to blows. Meanwhile, Pipiyee is finding the panicked lad a bit of a troublemaker.
Hey you! Are you a troublemaker?
Yeah, right. But I'm just a bit of a troublemaker.
Ugh, well that will have to do.
With a troublemaker found, Pipiyee proceeds with his line of inquiry.
Now, troublemaker, this is my line of inquiry. Now, if you were going to touch this as part of your troublemaking ways, would you use gloves?
Course, Gov! I thought all the best criminals are wearing gloves these days.
Indeed they do. Which means you, lad, are one of the absolute worst.
The lad becomes teary and agitated at the reality of his corona crimes being exposed, just like his criminal hands.
I'm not a criminal at all. I never meant to touch the car. I just like the way they look. I hope one day I can train to become a mechanic.
Being down with the kids, I'm versed in their twisted lingo, and I instantly recognise that becoming a mechanic, in the youth's dialect, is basically code for becoming a murdering maniac, and doing that by placing virus particles on the handles of cars. Spending so long in courtrooms over the years, you get a sense of the whiff of guilt. It smells like sweat and tears and polished wood. Disgusting. And I was smelling each of those off of this deceitful lad. I keep saying the force needs to replace the polygraph with the smellograph test, but for some reason my emails are going unanswered.
The weight of our intuition is against you, urchin, which as far as I'm concerned is enough to lock you up for as long as you live. Now come with us to the station, please, and keep your fingers to yourself. Oh, but let me handcuff you.
The circumstantial evidence fits like a glove. And the merciless lad finds himself looking at a £600,000 fine for breaching health and safety at work, which seems sure to set back his lurid dreams of ever becoming a mechanic. As the pandemic continues, be sure to follow the rules, or PC's Pipiyee and Bop will be sure to follow you on Corona Cops.